Today we are going to discuss about technical writing and style. In this topic, we will be discussing about the introduction to technical writing, features, purpose and examples, and then the key concepts of technical writing. We'll also see some of the methods of writing sentences and paragraph and various technical styles. So let us start with the technical communication. Technical communication is basically the communication that aims to convey a specific piece of information to a specific audience for a specific purpose. See, when I say technical communication, I am saying a specific information with a specific purpose to a specific audience. So it is not meant for the general audience, it is meant for a target audience, because we are giving a specific information which is useful only to a set of audience. So we say a specific piece of information for a specific purpose to a specific audience or the reader. That is technical communication. Now when we talk about communication, we are talking both about writing and speaking. Our focus in technical writing topic is basically writing section, so we will be discussing about technical writing in this section. It is the presentation of information that helps the reader to solve a particular problem. The basic objective of technical writing is to help the reader to solve a problem. Now, different types of write-ups that can be called technical are proposals, manuals, web pages, lab reports, newsletters, or any other type of technical documents. They are all under the section of technical writing. Now in technical writing, we used to communicate the information to the management, maybe to the employees. Now the not all the information is conveyed to all the employees. Only the information which is useful for a set of employees is conveyed to them. That is for their use. So management, employees and other business stakeholders. Technical writing can be considered to conduit, that means to flow, to channel between people who know technology or who use it. Since we are dealing with the engineering students, basically the focus is that there is a general communication and there is a technical communication. The subject is technical communication, so whatever we are discussing, whether it is writing also, we are discussing with the technical aspect. That is why we say technical writing is for the use of people who are adept with technology. Now, next is the definition. On the basis of the previous conclusions or informations that you have received on technical writing, we can say technical writing is the presentation and communication of accurate and objective scientific and technological information, ideas or procedures. That means anything that is technical and you are presenting that in the form of writing is technical writing. Now there are different features of technical writing. When we talk about the features, the first is technical writing is exposition. Exposition means descriptive, explanatory, which you can discuss. Is using scientific and technical vocabulary, which you know as jargons. There are specific set of vocabs which are used in different professions. Similarly, in technical field also there are certain set of vocabs which are frequently used, and those are used in technical writing also. So they are highly specific and detailed. You can make use of tables, graphs, figures in technical writing to clarify the point. It uses conventional report format and it can be used to analyze logically or evaluate a document scientifically. It leaves no room for conflicting interpretations. Means in technical writing you cannot leave the reader guessing or you cannot leave the reader interpreting something, because whatever is written is so detailed and explanatory that the inference has to be drawn from that only. So there is no room for interpretation in technical writing. You cannot frame your opinion. Technical things are technical and they have a particular modus operandi. You have to follow that. So technical writing leaves no room for conflicting interpretations. Now, purpose of technical writing. In this chart, you can see in this diagram the three basic purpose of technical writing has been shown. That is to inform. The first purpose, like any other communication, even in general communication also, the first purpose is to inform. Similarly, the first purpose or the basic purpose of technical writing is to inform, then is to instruct, to give an instruction or modus operandi of how something is to be done, and or to persuade or to perform. These are the three basic functions or purposes of a technical writing. Now, several examples of technical materials are here. You can see written or oral reports can be there, business letters, articles for journals or books, graphic aids, handbooks, brochures, memorandum and proposals. These are some of the examples of technical materials. Now these are the key concepts. When you are preparing a write-up, a technical write-up, you have to follow these guidelines. Know your audience means whenever you are writing something, do some homework to understand who is your audience. If your audience is a set of expert people, you can use as many technical terms and jargons. But if you are writing for somebody who is not so expert or is not so exposed to that technology, you will have to give explanation to the terms. So know your audience for whom you are writing. That will help you to write. Understand the goal of the document. What is the purpose of the document? As I said, here you can see the purpose can be to inform. When the purpose is information, to give some information, you can be more direct. But when you have to persuade somebody, you have to pitch your idea, you have to convince the person. So you have to not only know your audience, but you have to understand the purpose of your write-up. Follow the pyramid method of writing. Pyramid method of writing is the basic format of writing which you will study in the writing skills. Use clear and concise language. Many a time we misunderstand that writing is for impressing somebody. Please understand the ultimate purpose of communication is not to impress but to express ourselves. So when you are writing or even speaking, try to use commonplace language, commonplace words, simple words, clear and concise language which everybody can understand, rather than making your language sound very complicated so that people lose. When people do not understand something, what you are writing or speaking, they lose interest, and when somebody loses interest, they will not read the document. So keep your language as clear, concise as possible. For that, use concrete words, use commonplace day-to-day used words. That will be better. Prepare a draft, edit it, and then prepare a final copy. Next is, it can be reorganized. You can reorganize your write-up based on these four things. Keep it simple, keep it clear, straight, and fact-based. Technical communication is mostly fact-based. So these are the tips. Now, here you see, knowing your audience is what are the reader's positions and responsibilities. That means, as I said, who your readers are, whether they are experts, they are layman. What will the reader be expecting from the document? Whether they want some information, some instruction, they want to be persuaded. How will the information be used? How they are going to use the information that you are giving to them. And readers will fall into 1 to 4 categories. As I said, experts, technicians, business, or lay people. Lay people are those people who do not have so much understanding of the technology. You cannot use much technical vocab or jargons with them. You have to explain the things. But experts are people with whom you can be very brief, concise, and use the technical terms also. So please do this homework before you do any technical writing. Now, language and tone. Tone is actually set by the writer, the language the writer uses. When you are speaking, you can guess the tone. But when you are writing, the tone is set by the language the writer chooses for the audience. It can be persuasive, it needs to be suitable for the subject, and you should mostly try to write in active voice, not in passive voice. Whenever you are preparing a document, try to use active voice more rather than using passive voice. It should be specific to the goal of the document and more concise. As I said, in these slides you will be seeing the details. These are the 4 types of technical writing. Technical information, business writing, requirements for a position, and user documentation. Now next is, when we are talking about writing, you combine words to frame sentences and you combine sentences to form paragraphs. So you should know the guidelines for writing clear sentences, clear paragraph, and how to edit and revise for more clarity. Now these are the guidelines for writing clear sentence. The first is use normal word order. When I say use normal word order, I want to say that you should use subject, verb, object, structure. The basic construction of a sentence is subject, verb plus object or complement. So you should use that order that gives you the concise and clear sentence. Next is write sentences of 12 to 25 words. If you choose to write a shorter sentence or a longer sentence, that will give you a weak sentence construction, because shorter sentences are very simple and weak, and longer, more than 25 words, they become very complicated for the reader to understand. So the standard sentence should be up to 12 to 25 words. Use parallel structure. Parallel structure means for similar structure you should use, for similar elements you should use similar structure. So next is use active voice. As I said, try to be more direct, because active voice is more direct than passive voice. So make use of active voice. For example, if I say Arjun started his business, this is subject plus verb plus object. It is more clear rather than saying in passive voice business was started by Arjun. Here what we are doing, we are not putting the main idea first. So in order to put the main idea first and to be more direct, try to use active voice rather than passive voice. Putting the main idea first means trying to put the subject at the first place. Next is guidelines for writing a clear paragraph. There are different types of, different methods of developing paragraph which you have studied in the previous semester. Inductive, deductive, spatial, chronological. Okay, so today we are not going to discuss that, but we are going to discuss about the guidelines for writing a clear paragraph. The major guideline for writing or developing a paragraph is putting the topic sentence first and structuring the paragraphs coherently. Now in any paragraph, you can understand a paragraph is a combination of different sentences which are arranged logically. Now, which sentence should come first? So the idea is that the most important sentence of the paragraph or the most important idea of the paragraph should be kept first. That most important idea of a paragraph is set topic sentence. Topic sentence is not essentially kept in the first position. It can come at the first, at the last, or in the middle also. But it is said that put the topic sentence first. That means if you put the main idea, the most important idea first, that will help the reader to develop an overall understanding of your passage. This is explained here. Now the next is structure your paragraph coherently. When there are different sentences which you are arranging in a paragraph, they should be coherent. They should be interlinked and logically sequenced. That is what coherence is about. Each sentence relates clearly to the topic sentence or the controlling idea of the paragraph. They should be related to the main or the most important idea or sentence, and they should be interlinked, and sequence should be logical. If a paragraph is coherent, each sentence follows smoothly into the next and the obvious shifts or jumps. If you are speaking something and all of a sudden you start speaking about a different topic, your paragraph will not be coherent. So you should make sure that all the sentence in a particular paragraph speaks about that important idea. And for this, the important tip is that deal with one important idea in one paragraph. So, how can you revise your paragraph or sentence for clarity? Avoid string or choppy sentences. That means framing sentences by bringing words from here and there and making them small uselessly. Avoiding wordiness means putting too many words in a paragraph or sentence uselessly which do not add to the meaning of the sentence. Avoid redundant phrases. Redundant phrases are two words which are put together and they give the same meaning. Like if I say return back. Now when I am saying return, it means turn back, give back. We do not need to say back. So do not use redundant phrases. Avoid abstract and general terms. Use there are sparingly. Avoid nominalizations. Avoid noun clusters and use the word you correctly. These are some of the guidelines for clarity. Next is guidelines for organizing clearly, which we have already dealt with. As I said, identify the topic sentence of the paragraph, place it at the beginning and try to relate all the sentence to that topic sentence. That means context setting or introduction should come first. Place the important material first, as I said. Use preview list, use repetitions and sequencing. In order to emphasize on something or put stress on a point, you can use repetition and use parallelism, as I said. For similar elements, use similar construction. Okay, and context setting. Introduction should come first. Means when you are preparing a write-up, the paragraph which is a detailed introduction of the whole write-up should be placed first, because that paragraph, that introductory paragraph, provides the overall framework to the reader of what the writing is about. For example, if you are going to read a book and you turn the book at the very back side of the cover page, you find the gist of the book is given in a very small paragraph. By reading to that, you may decide what the book is about and whether you will be interested in reading that or not. Similarly, an introductory paragraph provides an overall framework to the reader who can grasp what the matter is about. You can use an introduction to orient the reader about the context in 3 different ways. What you can do, you can define the terms in the introductory paragraph, or in the introductory paragraph you can tell them why you are writing something, or you can tell the purpose of the document. So in your introductory paragraph, the idea is that write something which provides the reader an overall framework of what they are going to expect to read in that. Okay, this we have discussed. Thank you.